On today's show, why do we need to pretend that the lead actor and actress are in love with each other to sell the movie? I want to get into this one because it's bizarre to me. Also, Kanye West has apologized, like issued a full statement. The question is, do you believe him?
We're ready, Adam. I'm live from my friend Casey's basement.
That's great. Now, listen, listen. We don't have time for the explaining where you are. We'll explain later. We know we're doing this remotely, but I do want to say, I got a bone to pick with Hollywood, guys. I got an issue.
Okay, whoa, coming in hot there, hot and angry.
Yeah, I'm mad.
Uh-oh.
And maybe it's because I have a crush on Margot Robbie, but I want to ask you guys something. What's with the trend of we need to sell a movie, so we have to pretend the lead actor and actress are having an affair? Do you know what I mean? And I'm talking about this in the sense that, like you guys remember Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney when they were
yeah.
They were like together, but like, you know, her fiance, who she's since broken up with, like, was a producer on that film.
It's
right?
bizarre. Yeah.
It's bizarre. And I'm calling out, I want to call out Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. Have you guys seen their interviews or their clips together?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think that they always go back to the are they, aren't they narrative and the affair narrative, because they don't know what else to do. They think that sells movies. And I think it's hard to sell tickets to begin with. So they're like, well, let's try this. I think you need something spicier. I think they need to hate each other. Maybe there's a lesbian affair happening on set. Maybe somebody is secretly stealing from the set. Like, think bigger. We don't need to do this. This heteronormative are they, aren't they thing. Come on.
Well, because the movie's called Wuthering Heights, and for the last 2 months,
I know what the movie is. I'm waiting.
It's another, like, listen, smut is in right now, and I don't hate that. Like, for everybody. Mm-hmm. So for instance, Margot Robbie reveals Jacob Elordi filled her room with roses on Valentine's Day. When they were filming Wuthering Heights. I remember thinking on Valentine's Day, oh, he's probably a good boyfriend, because there's a lot of thoughtfulness in this. You did a lot of very thoughtful things. And then the next one I have is when they wrapped filming, she says, I'm so codependent with the people I work with. I love everyone so much, and I'm always that person who's devastated when a job's over, and I never wanted it to end. I think I developed that quite quickly with Jacob too. I felt lost, like a kid without their blanket or something. And she said their relationship is a mutual obsession.
I don't know if codependent's the word you want to go with, unless you truly are codependent, and that's not usually very healthy, my darling.
Right?
So I mean, obsession, love that. Roses, love that. Like, hardcore codependency to the point that you're like a puddle when you leave any sort of work scenario isn't usually a good idea.
Well, and it's also like sort of BS. Like, girl, first off, Margot is married. I believe her husband is a producer on this film. Yeah. She's got a kid. Like, what do we like? Listen, Margot's, I think, 2 years younger than me. I'm 37. She's 35. I'm just thinking to my mom. If I dug up clips of my mom going, "Oh, I was just obsessed with this lead actor" or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, wait, what about Dad? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
And then he talked about how he's like, you got to make sure you're within, you know, he's like, if you have the opportunity to share a film set with Margot Robbie, you're going to make sure you're within 5 to 10 meters of all times, watching how she drinks tea, how she eats her food. She's just an elite actress. And then the last one, because there's more, is they're talking about how this movie sort of has been promoted. And you guys have obviously seen I'm sure you've seen the previews where he's got like a finger in her mouth, and they're like hot and heavy in a carriage. Yeah. And they say the first image anyone sees of a movie is when you actually begin entertaining them. I remember being like, do you want a double finger? And I was like, how? And then Margot says, how dare you even ask me? And then she talked about how he made her weak in the knees because he picked her up with one arm. Like,
okay, can I say something? Can I say something though? Just
please,
like also, okay, like you already sold me with the movie with that. Steph knows what I'm talking about. Everything is romantic song, the Charlie XCX song, like that. It is incredible. You already had me. Jacob Elordi doing anything, you've already had me. Margot Robbie kind of gets on my nerves at this point. It's like that. Yeah. I'm just kind of over it. It's like when a movie, you know, when somebody stays at the party too long, that's what some of the press around this is feeling like. And I may be completely wrong, but like I was excited about this movie. And then now hearing all these, I don't think that they need the extra glaze on top, this extra like, drama and gossip and like the fact that we're talking about why is she acting like she's having an affair when she's married and has a kid, like that kind of stuff turns me off of a movie. Like, let me just see the film. And we don't need to have this much press around it. That isn't necessarily good press. That's what I have to say. That's enough.
And it's not, I just, does anyone believe this?
No. I think it's bizarre too.
Are they in love? Like, come on, we know they're not.
No, they're not. They're not. But we also, like, if I were them, I would be shutting this down real quick. But they also probably don't have the energy after filming this movie. But it's an odd, unnecessary press buzz going around about the movie afterwards. Just let the movie come out. What does it come out in, like 2 weeks? Come on. Yeah. Come on. So just let it happen.
Heck, man. I also wondered this, guys. I have a theory. Could the movie just be really bad?
No.
You think it'll be good?
I think it's going to be fantastic. Stephanie, what do you think?
I think it's probably going to be good, but I think it's weird to put roses in your coworker's room on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. I'd be pissed if that was if Jacob Elordi was my boyfriend, I wanted to say he'd be a hostage, but we're not going to say that. But Jacob Elordi would know that he's not allowed to give roses to other women. Okay, right, I'd make sure Jacob Elordi knows he's with me.
Yeah. Well, like I can tell you this, like being a married guy, my wife's not a jealous person. If I gave Jax roses on Valentine's Day, it's nothing because we have.
I wish you would, and you never do.
But I also think part of it. Let's just call it what it is. Jax is gay and therefore not.
That's different,
right? If I did it with Steph, people would be like,
that would be weird,
really?
Right? Yeah.
So I don't know, and you know what? I don't even know that the Valentine's Day thing even happened. That's the part for me. I'm like, these guys, like these are actors, and when they're doing promo like this, they're under it's not court. They can lie. They're totally allowed.
I think it's all bullshit, and they're just trying to drum something up because maybe they ran out because a lot of the PR was happening for this film. Like a lot of it was in the summer, a lot of it was in the fall. So it's like kind of running up to the actual release. Maybe they're running dry. Maybe they're running out of things to talk about the movie.
Right. So the mutual obsession. I mean, they're both fabulously good-looking people. Yeah. So that's and people kind of like that. Like I think. There's a little bit too of we're still human beings. And as much as, everybody wanted to get through the body positivity movement a better person, people still give, couples where one person is hot and the other is not necessarily traditionally hot, a lot of shit.
Yeah, they do.
Right. So, and we are far more, for whatever reason, human beings are like, well, I can believe two hot people together, but I can't believe Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco or Ariana Grande and,
Ethan Slater.
The guy Ethan Slater. Yeah. And listen, I know that they came together under suspicious circumstances. I completely understand that, but you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird to me. There's a lot of weird on today's show. And I wanted to address that because I also was open to the fact that I'm a guy who's probably not going to rush to the theaters to see Wuthering Heights. You know what I'm saying?
That's a you problem. And I think that you need to evolve. And I think that maybe just maybe we could go see it together. I don't know, Adam. Maybe you could be a man. Maybe you could be a man this year, show up, buy me fucking flowers and take me to the film.
So you know what? I should tell Natalie. I'm like, listen, I'm going to go see this smut film with Jax. What do you feel like? Again, she'd be like...
She'd think that's funny. I think she'd like that.
Yeah.
I think she'd like that. Yeah. I can see her liking that.
maybe he can teach you a thing or two. All right, spice it up a bit.
There you go.
Maybe you can start picking me up with one arm. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw this, and this is the one major highlight from this show. So I want to get to this. Did you see that the two lead actors from Heated Rivalry are Olympic torchbearers? Did you see that?
Did I see it? Did I see it? Did I dream it? Did I think about it? Have I been watching it on repeat? Yes, I've seen it. They look
what did
so
you guys
good.
think? I thought if nothing else, like the way that Americans refer to this show is I read it. I think it was in like Variety a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's a low budget Canadian show that's taken the world by storm. Low budget Canadian film. To be honest with you, if you know anything about Canadian productions, everything is a low budget film here. Everything is a low budget TV show here compared to the States, right?
Yeah,
like we just don't have the same population and the same sort of capital. And it has taken the world by storm in the same vein as Wuthering Heights. It's there's a little smutty in there, which is good. But it's what's I think captivated people is, and Americans are saying this show would never get made in the States, right? And these guys went from literally, a few thousand followers on Instagram to a few million in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
And now they're Olympic torchbearers. I think there's something really cool about that.
I mean, I think it's also incredible to see that their celebrity, I mean, it's just only started and it keeps on growing. I mean, a lot of people consume the show by the time the last episode was out. Like people were waiting for the last episode. So like most people have already seen this show. And usually when you see a show blow up like that, they've got a couple of weeks of a great press run and then it's done. But it's like their celebrity is only starting. Politically, I found it interesting because, they with this being a hockey show, these were two lead actors on a queer hockey show, kind of going on the heels with the Olympics, all of the, politics and all of the legislation around trans athletes. I think if they were, 5, 10, 15 years into their celebrity, I don't think that they would have done the torch bearing thing. And it's been an interesting argument to see on the internet whether or not they should have done it. I don't think that they were in a place to make a political stance. I mean, these are two guys that were just like, working part-time jobs this time last year kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they did not have the celebrity that they do now.
That was a debate.
Yeah, there is a debate on whether or not that they should have been, having anything to do with the Olympics after, some of the ways in which trans and queer athletes in general, especially, Russia years ago, have been treated.
Well, they're not.
Well, exactly. And the thing is like a lot of people are saying, these heated rivalry stars shouldn't even be touching anything to do with the Olympics. And absolutely, you can say that. However, I don't think that they were in a place to even kind of make that their bone to pick with the Olympics. I think that they are too, newer actors, brand new celebrities, and maybe they just wanted to hold the Olympic torch and also bring a lot of eyes to the Olympics. So that's fair. I get it.
If you think I'm wrong here, Jax, but I think it does more, not just for the show, but obviously for visibility. You can't go through life looking for perfect, right? Like no organization that involves the entire world, or in theory, the entire world, is going to be perfect. You're not going to have perfect countries. Like I would say Canada's pretty progressive, but it isn't perfect.
No,
and
absolutely not.
You can make that argument quite literally about anything. Mm-hmm. And I would rather them be involved with all those countries there that are so regressive when it comes to trans and gay and all the, the entire spectrum of those people that are underrepresented or whatever. I would rather them be there representing, hopefully what the world looks like in the future, rather than going, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that. It's not perfect. And it doesn't represent our values currently. Like how else are they supposed to? And it's not on these guys, just these two guys, to push that forward. But while they have the public's attention,
absolutely,
this is the best chance they have to push that forward. That would be my argument. But again, I'm not a member of the community, so you can.
No, but I also, No, and I'm also not into policing my own community. And I think that it is like, about everyone's efforts. I think that we can ask for perfect in a lot of, especially a lot of countries. We can absolutely ask for better in some certain countries. And I'm sure maybe some of the countries are listening or members of those countries. We can ask for better and we can ask for more perfection, but we can't ask for perfection in general. And I think everyone's just trying to do their best at this point. These are also two actors who are, not members of the trans community. So I think that they maybe thought, if we don't do this, is that overstepping, or is that, so there's a lot of arguments to be made. Do I want to look at them holding the Olympic torches? I want to look at them holding anything. I want to look at them in the mall. I want to look at them in the groceries. They could just be sitting on their phones with triple chins. You know what I mean? When you look at yourself by accident in the back camera and you see yourself, like, I want to see them. I want to see these boys do anything. And I would love to be with them when they do anything, but that's not going to happen. So I'll just watch from afar.
Do you think they smell good? Do you think they take good baths?
I think that they smell incredible. And even if they smelled a bit sweaty, I think I like that more.
Oh, well, you know how bad a hockey dressing room can smell.
My brother smelled like garbage after he would come home from his hockey games. He smelled like garbage, dirty garbage, but I bet that they smell organic and beautiful and perfect.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. Nobody ever showered.
Have I seen it? No. Ever. And I bet you smelled like not as dirty garbage as my brother David did, but I bet you smelled bad, Adam, in your hockey days. I bet you smelled bad.
It was funny, actually, when I remember playing, like, there'd be guys who didn't air out their equipment. And so if you'd be able to identify on the other team, like, who didn't take their equipment out of their bag and like hang it up in their basement to air it out, because you have to air it out.
Yeah, you have to.
And like my buddies and I would be like, just don't get hit by that guy. Like, cause it always felt like it was rubbing off on you. So you have like, come back to the bench and my buddy Alex would be like, oh, that guy hit me and my left arm stinks.
Yeah. Here comes garbage Greg down the ice. Like, Jesus. Yeah, he smells like his mother begged him to open up his hockey bag, and he wouldn't. Greg's dirty. Yeah.
I thought you'd find this interesting, just kind of wrapping up the heated rivalry conversation, because there's a lot of other stuff that I want to get to here while we have time. From the Wall Street Journal, 8 million is the number. That is the average amount of viewers for heated rivalry episodes on HBO Max. A huge number. And again, they describe it as a low budget series acquired from Canada's Crave/Bell Media. So it's apparently not big enough yet to make Nelson's. They have a streaming service that like kind of tracks shows. Apparently 8 million is still not big enough to make the Nielsen streaming charts, but 8 million would be roughly 1/4. Well, not quite, just below 1/4 of all Canadians. We've got about 41 million people here. Like, you're talking about the amount of views that a Canadian Olympic gold medal final in hockey would get. Like, it's crazy.
There's a stat, and I'm definitely going to like butcher this stat, but I saw it somewhere that the finale of, and I mean, it's totally different eras and totally different measurements, but like the finale of Heated Rivalry had had over the amount of views that like the finale of Breaking Bad did, or something absurd like that. Wow. Like, it was like, and that was the most, I'll have to find the exact stat. And if I don't, Steph, please cut this out of the podcast. But no, I'm pretty sure that they had it like over. And I mean, that was a show that was running for how many seasons and also had like worldwide attention. It is. I have friends in the UK that were having trouble getting it in the first couple episodes, and they were like, "Can you screen record and send it to me?" Because like people were dying for it over there. They couldn't get it. Like, this is not just North America. It's even bigger. It's even bigger. It's wild.
Well, the Ottawa Senators have started selling Rosenoff jerseys.
Yeah.
Didn't the Habs and buy them?
Didn't the Montreal Canadiens speak on them the other day? And I forget who it was, but I barely watch any hockey, but whoever this player was did a good job. And he said, you know what? It's bringing great attention to the sport. So I don't know. Probably
Nick Suzuki, but I didn't see that interview either.
He seemed good. He seemed like a good man.
Did he? Well, the vibes are good in Montreal right now. If you pay attention to hockey, that's a fun young team.
I don't. And I won't unless they're sleeping together. Okay, that's my rule. Unless you're kissing, I'm not watching.
or it's Sidney Crosby or Brad Marchand.
Listen, I'll watch one. I'll watch one, not the other.
Can you do one of your East Coast calls, Jax, and have people from the East? Because the three best hockey players in the NHL right now from Nova Scotia are Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, and Brad Marchand.
Brad Marchand, yes.
Would you call somebody and ask them to rank the best of the three? Like, can you give me a power ranking?
I absolutely will. I can tell you how that ranking will go, though, right now.
Give it to me.
Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, and then they'll put Brad Marchand at the bottom. Not because he's a player. They don't like his attitude here. They don't like his attitude. Sidney's a good Colby boy, good Cole Harbor boy. And Nathan, I think, is from Cole Harbor, too. Nathan's nice, but Brad Marchand, they think saucy. They don't like him. They think he's saucy. Good. They love his hockey, but they don't like his attitude. Yeah.
He is saucy. They don't have to think about it. He's a saucy boy.
He's on a Florida team now. Did you know that, Adam? I just found that out.
I do. And they beat the Leafs in the second round last year in Game 7, wiped the floor with them, and went on to win their second cup in a row. So, just Brad Marchand has eaten my team alive for years.
If you don't mind, sorry, as a quick side note, I was, because I'm in Nova Scotia right now, and we'll talk about that later, but I was at the Superstore the other day before the snowstorm came, and somebody came up to me and they said, "Are you Jax?" And I said, "I am." And they say, it was a guy. Oh no, wait for this. It was a guy. He said, "Yeah, I watch Adam's podcast all the time." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "You must be elite." I get this all the time. They're like, "Are you Jax?" Okay, you know Adam, usually from a guy, and they're always sweethearts. But he said, and I said, "You must be a Leafs fan." He goes, "I am." And I said, "I'm sorry." And he gave me that. And that's the only thing I know about hockey, is that when they say they know Adam, I can say sorry. So thank you, Adam. Thank you for bringing me community. But he loves your he loves your other podcast, but he loves this one more. Well, I hope.
The East Coast is obviously a big part of the identity of who Jax is, because that's where Jax grew up. But it's also East Coast of Canada. It's a place that I lived for a little bit. I always say it was my favorite year of my life.
Yeah.
I love Halifax. I love Halifax. But the thing about the East Coast is it's three different provinces, and because the Maritimes do not include Newfoundland. Newfoundlanders will be the first one to tell you.
Adam,
right?
it's four different provinces. East Coast.
4 different provinces.
No, Newfoundland, they don't consider themselves maritime, but they are East Coast.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right, they don't. We're not Maritimers. We're Newfoundlanders.
Yes,
it's different.
Yeah.
But I thought you guys would find it funny that I ran into some Newfoundlanders here the other week. They came to SDPN and they were in town to boo Mitch Marner. So they bought a ticket from St. John and then came to Toronto, and their whole thing was, "We're here to boo Mitch. That's why we're here."
That's not a cheap flight. That's not a cheap flight.
Oh, it's not.
Wow. Okay.
The commitment to be petty.
What's it cost you to fly home, Jack?
Oh, what does it cost me? I mean, it only costs a couple $100 now, usually like between $300 and $400. But when I first moved it's 11 years now. When I first moved to Toronto, it would have been like, you couldn't get it under $800 or $900. Like, it was crazy round trip. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was wild, but now it's cheap.
I want to switch gears here. This one's a weird one. And I told you guys that there's some weird in the show. Obviously, Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, a bit of a softball in comparison to what I'm going to bring up here. But you guys, did you see the Kanye West Wall Street Journal thing? The fact that he took out a full page ad in the Wall Street Journal to apologize for all of the, and I'm just going to call it what is the bullshit that he has spewed for the last decade or more.
Yeah.
Dating back to like his time with Adidas. He says, remember he printed a t-shirt with a swastika on it.
Yep.
He said it was due to an undiagnosed brain injury from a 2002 car accident where he broke his jaw. Now, we've heard about this before
through the wire,
because it has affected.
Yep.
He's spoken. When you break your jaw, it's actually pretty severe. He said at the time, the focus was on the visible damage, the fracture, the swelling, the immediate physical trauma. The deeper injury was the one inside my skull that went unnoticed. The medical oversight caused serious damage to my mental health and led to my bipolar type 1 diagnosis. The scariest thing about this disorder is how persuasive it is when it tells you you don't need help. It makes you blind, but convinces you you've got insight. You feel powerful, you feel certain, and you feel unstoppable. In that fractured state, I gravitated towards the most destructive symbol I could find, the swastika, and even sold it on t-shirts. One of the difficult aspects of having bipolar type 1 is the disconnected moments, many of which I still cannot recall, that led to poor judgment, reckless behavior, and oftentimes an out-of-body experience. I'm deeply regretful and mortified by my actions in that state, and I'm committed to accountability, treatment, and meaningful change. It does not excuse what I did, though. I am not a Nazi or an anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. I find my new baseline and new center through an effective regime of medication, therapy, exercise, and clean living. I have newfound much-needed clarity. I am pouring my energy into positive meaning, music, art, clothing, design, and other ideas to help me reach the world. I'm not asking for sympathy or a free pass, though I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply to ask for your patience and understanding as I find my way home. What do we think?
Like, it has everything I wanted to hear, but I'm still very skeptical. If that's fair to say. And I think that true accountability and true like repair comes through consistency and time. I am always open to hearing, somebody's amends, especially to all of the communities and all of the people in which he hurt. And I think that hopefully those communities and people are open to it too. But I think that it takes just as much time to put out a apology Wall Street spread as it does a hateful one. So hopefully this will stick, because the damage in which he had stuck for a while. I have friends, that are diagnosed with bipolar 1 and 2, and it like all of these things are absolutely accurate. Do I believe that he had a brain injury? Yes. Do I believe that he was off his medication for being bipolar? Yes. Do I think he's sorry? Yes. Do I want to see this stay for a while? I would love to. I'll believe it when I see it, if I'll put it that way. Yeah.
Steph, what do you think? What's your initial reaction?
I'm really glad this is happening for him and that this didn't kind of have a tragic ending, because like I was really scared that something was going to happen to him and at the worst that could happen. But I'm glad that seems like he's finding himself and going to therapy and taking medications he needs, because he was on a terrible path. And I hope this really helps him for himself and his family and his children, because even
his
for,
kids,
for his children, like you don't want to see them growing up with their father who is like just losing it. So I really hope that he can actually like turn himself around
and accept the help that he needs to turn himself around, because that's the thing. Like he's sick and he was really unwell. And at some points, I mean, Adam, I remember even when we were doing the Virgin Morning Show, like there were some points where we're like, we can't, like, this is because every day he was making headlines for something absurd. And it was really, really dark. And at some point, you're like, are we giving another platform to somebody who's really unwell and who doesn't know what they're saying? Right. So it's like walking this line of being like, well, you are saying these things, you need to be accountable. And also like, this is somebody who's incredibly unwell, just has a lot of money and power. Right. So it's like you walk this fine line. So hopefully he will, he will continue with the treatment he needs. I don't know, Adam, what do you think?
Well, so the first thing that strikes me is the amount of people that profited off this. It was pretty clear that he had something going wrong, right? Like it was very clear that there was mental illness there. But as anybody will tell you, you have to take responsibility for that, even though it's a tough burden to bear, right? When you have it, you have to take responsibility for it. And you can have people who are mentally ill that are good people that step out of what their normal circumstance would be and in the way they treat people. And you can also have mentally ill people that are assholes. And that and what I appreciated about this statement is he says that does not excuse my behavior.
I know. Yeah.
A lot of people who are like, I acknowledge that I have mental health problems and therefore you should feel bad for me. Yeah. He's not asking for that, at least in this statement. And I appreciate that because, lost in, and I think a lot of the conversation a few years ago when this was really at the forefront, especially in the pandemic, was, well, I've got mental health problems and I've struggled through this, and people were being open about it, and that's good. But then I think it jumped the shark a little bit, where it was like, well, I can treat you like this because I have these issues. And it's actually, no, you can't. That's the point. You're supposed to seek treatment, and you can't use therapy language to treat people like shit.
Yeah, no.
There's a difference between setting a boundary and attacking someone.
Absolutely. And diagnose other people to excuse your own diagnoses. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. I do have to say, like, okay, the one thing that I was very conscious of when I was reading the apology earlier, because like when it comes to amends or like any sort of actual sorries, when you're saying sorry and you mean it, you're saying it for the other person, not for yourself. You're not relieving yourself of guilt. You're not relieving yourself of accountability. You're not relieving yourself of the burden of what you've done. When you're saying sorry and you're actually meaning it, it is for the other person, or the person that you've hurt, or the damage that you've caused. And I could feel that none of that was to get it off of his own plate. He was truly saying it's all the language for the other person. This doesn't excuse me. I'm sorry for the damage. I'm sorry for the hurt, the pain, etc. None of it's like, will you forgive me? It's not looking for you don't feel like he's looking for relief in that. He's just looking to start a conversation about saying sorry, which I did like.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think, Jax, when you said at the beginning of this conversation, I liked what I saw. I'm paraphrasing you here. I liked that he did it, but I'm still cautious. That's how I think most people should feel here.
Yes,
like,
yes.
What I think is, like, I'll be honest with you. I love Kanye West's music. I've loved it forever. I've seen a couple of his concerts. I saw him and Kendrick Lamar on the same damn tour. Like, it was amazing. And he is brilliant, truly brilliant. But I think when he was going through these episodes that that happen, there was a lot of people in there who were like, "Yeah, but he's a genius, and you wouldn't understand." And I remember thinking, "I understand perfectly, and you guys are a-holes for allowing it to happen." Right? It's his fans, it's his hangers-on. He has so much money. There's always going to be like an entourage or whatever.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping is that the entourage, the group of people around him, has changed. I know Bianca Censori, his wife, left him for a bit. And I wonder one day if we're going to get the story of how that may have affected this change, because she's still with him.
Yeah.
But, a lot of times when these things happen, you got to change the people around you.
Oh, yes.
You're on a dark path. They don't have your best interests at heart. And so what I hope is this is the start of Kanye getting back to doing what he does best, which is making great music. But also, you do have to put in work, and it's got to be more than just therapy. You're a public figure. You got to go out and be a part of events, show contrition, right? And I think this is a start. It might even be a good start. But please, I feel like, please don't fool me again. Do you know what I mean?
No, and don't give us this, because like there's some hope in there. It's a very dark political time too, right? So it's like hearing from somebody who is usually not on the right side of things being like, "Hey, I'm sorry," like giving a little bit of glimmer of hope. And I also, it is obviously not the same, but I keep on, kind of like bringing it back to sobriety and bringing it back to AA. But like, there's a reason that when you get sober in whatever program, you don't do amends right away. They say to wait, right? Because you're going to go in there, you're going to say, sorry. They say, wait in your first year, even your second year. Like I'm, 6 years in and I'm still making amends, because it's like people that I've hurt need to see time, right? Like they need to see consistency. They're like, cool, you haven't drank for a month, and now you're saying sorry. But what if you go back, and it's like, it's with Kanye. It's like, there's a lot of damage. So like, maybe if they see him consistent for a year or 2, 3, 4, 5, like that's when the actual healing kind of starts. And I hope that this is the start of something new. I really do.
Yeah. It'd be nice. And so, you always root for people to get better.
Yeah.
Forgive everybody. Well, don't forgive it. I don't think any forgiveness is necessary. I think healthy skepticism here is important. But I'm rooting for him. I want him to succeed. I want this to be a better place. And we've said it on the show a million times, guys, especially lately. Like, it's so crazy. We started this show. We want to be bright and fun and happy every week. We know what's going on politically. We know what happened in Minnesota this weekend. And we try to be an escape from that, because if you want real conversation on that. There are 8 million podcasts and radio shows and TV shows you can get it from, right?
Yeah.
But we also need to have this show be bright and fun and have an awareness of that. And what we keep saying is the bad guys feel like they're winning.
Yeah.
And for me, this is a one brief little opening in the clouds.
Yeah.
Little sunshine going through, going, okay, maybe there's hope.
And that's the thing is like, if there was a good time for Kanye to go extra mega, it's right now. And the fact that he's going opposite, I'm like, what? It could that be the sun parting through the clouds? What is, like it's this, part of me was like, is this some sort of press like move for something new? And I've been hurt so many times, but yeah, we have room for forgiveness and hope on the show. Just a little bit,
Okay, so we got to get to Dying to Know. So this is our question segment. You can always submit your questions. Probably the best way is through Instagram, because most of our TikTok DMs are thirsty, can I get Jax's number posts?
No, they aren't.
Yes, they are. They're just, is Jax single? Oh my God. Man, can I just say this? If there was a heated rivalry, it's our DMs for Jax. But
oh my God, that is an honor and so not true. But thank you.
All the things she said. So Jax, this is a really good question, because I think it. I think you're the best one to answer it. I love the way this is asked, by the way. Do you think there could be a Les version of heated rivalry that would be as popular or more popular?
I mean, in a dream world, yes, I hope. But here's the thing is like, I don't think the PWHL or any, larger,
WNBA.
I don't think anybody's really been secret about being together, and I don't think the girlies have had the same experiences. Like I know some, they're definitely not pro athletes, but I know some ladies hooking up on different sports teams. And yeah, I mean, do I think it could be as successful? Absolutely. Do I think that it has that like ingredient of like, whoa, this is so secret and never before seen? Not as much, right? So I think that's where you're getting a lot of the, a lot of the success is like, it's like the Sidney Crosby and the Brad Marchand fucking, excuse my language, but like, it's like that part, right? It's like two people you would never imagine being together. And I think maybe in women's sports, it's not as like, I also think that there's like,
can I be honest about something?
In general, like the female to female from a male gaze, like lesbians are so much more oversaturated in media in general, right? So yeah.
I mean, I think it can still be a very, very good.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have WNBA players that are like on the same team and dating. One of them gets traded and they break up. Like those are stories, like real stories.
Hot and tall and apart. Yes. But yeah, I think you've seen it. Like there's been a lot of lesbian stories like that already. So you don't really need to create one.
Because masculinity is where it is, I think that the thing about gay men is it's always been considered, well, it's not masculine, which is, heated rivalries kind of put a lie to that, right?
Well, it's because it's done from the female gaze and not the male. That's why. And that was like Rachel Reed was brilliant in the way that she wrote that, right? So, and then Jacob Tierney bringing it to life was, it was wild. The way that they did that was perfect.
We got 50 centimeters at the airport, about 60 centimeters downtown of snow in Toronto. Jax, you're not here. Scott wants to know, why do we live in a place where snow exists? How much did you get out on the East Coast? Because Jax, you're out there right now.
Yeah. And you know what? If I had planned on coming home yesterday or today, I wouldn't have been able to anyway. So I'm coming home tomorrow. We got, I think, 35 or 40 centimeters.
Still a lot.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot of snow. I was watching my camera in Toronto, like I have a doorbell camera, and I just watched it pile up and pile up and pile up. And I don't think I've ever seen that much snow in Toronto. I don't. What is happening there?
That's crazy. It's crazy. And the crazy thing is today, and Steph will back me up on this, it's super windy today. So all the snow is moving around. So when I was trying to get here, my truck had been reburied overnight. And thank God I have a truck, and I know you guys always make fun of me for it, but it is the only thing that got me to work yesterday. And I had to re-dig it out and blast through the snow in it just to get back out because of the drifts all moving. It's crazy.
Okay. Can I ask something about Toronto though?
Sure.
How are the roads?
Really good.
Are they plowed yet?
Mostly
the main roads.
All the main roads are.
Okay.
Yeah, and your side streets, you get one lane, so everything's a one way.
Because the last snowstorm, I didn't really see any plows, and I won't get into it, but I know that there was a little privatization party of the plowing in Toronto. So I know.
No.
I just, when I was back here in Halifax, I was like, oh my God, everything's plowed.
No, it was good.
Look at this.
It was really good.
All right,
Actually,
good.
what was crazy throughout is the buses never stopped. Never.
They never do. They always
never
go.
do.
Yeah.
But and then, by the time I woke up after the snowstorm, because Stephanie was in Mexico.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to talk to her about that. Making friggin' TikToks. Yeah, go back. No, don't go back. Stay here.
Yeah. You can follow Steph for all her warm weather activities.
With the girlies. Yeah.
Yeah. My God. But I woke up the next morning, and what was so funny is it was this beautiful day, like sunny and gorgeous, pretty cold, not a lot of wind. And you'd see people, because I have a condo and it overlooks a park. And all of the walkways were plowed, which was great. And you'd see people taking their dogs out for a walk, but you couldn't see the dog.
Oh, so yeah.
Like people just carrying like this phantom leash around, and it would just kind of be walking out front. And I remember I feel bad for girl dogs in snowstorms, and I used to have one. And one dog, because they squat, right? They don't lift their leg up to pee. One dog I saw was on top of a snowdrift, squatted down to pee. The snow gave way, and the dog got buried while poor thing was trying to pee. Like, it was crazy. Anyway.
Even men, you know what? Even men dogs have it better, Women never win, do we, Steph? We never win.
They do. Okay, girls. Ladies. All right, Bird.
Yeah.
All right. What do you guys think about? What are we recommending this week? Did we watch any TV? Did we listen to any music?
I haven't watched. I've been watching the snow. I've been shoveling. I've been watching the shoveling. I haven't really been watching anything.
All right. That's fine.
That's honest. What about you, Stephanie?
Well,
Mexico.
Question for Jax, though. Jax, what do you think about Harry Styles' new song?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So can I just do a deep dive for 1 second?
Please. Go.
Okay, so first of all, remember Steph and I are often texting on the side. We're usually texting.
Yeah.
But Stephanie and I were blowing up because I went to go see Jamie XX in London, in the UK.
That's right.
In London in June or whatever. And Harry Styles was there. And he was at the same show, and he was like far away from me, but he was there. And then because I've seen him like there's like all these Harry Styles fan accounts, and he's been getting more and more into electronic music. And I wondered if his new song and his new sound was going to sound a little bit more like, I don't know, kind of like Euphoria UK house. And it does. And I love it. It sounds pretty. This isn't going to be the biggest track on his album. It's not, it's kind of, it's a departure for him. And I think it's probably going to be a departure from the rest of the album, but I love it. And this is the sunshine that we need.
And
Harry
Jamie's
Styles
opening for
has
him.
brought the sunshine.
Jamie's
I know.
on tour.
It's like going on the full tour, isn't he?
I think it's the U.S. dates.
Just the U.S. states, not Canada?
There's no Canadian dates right now, but there's rumors that 2027 is in the works.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he dropped Toronto and Vancouver. This is what happens when I'm in my friend Casey's basement, cut off from the rest of the world. Jamie XX, because he used to be a member of the XX. It's all coming together. Sorry. Okay.
Can I just say this too very quickly on Harry Styles? And I'm so mad that I forgot to bring that up. I made a note of it. I forgot to bring it up. I'm sorry. Harry Styles is going to prevent the New York Rangers and New York Knicks from playing like any home games, especially the Rangers. Because he booked a 30-date residency at Madison Square Garden.
Insane.
And the Rangers start playing like October 1st next year. And it's between August and October, but the Rangers are just not going to get any home games in October. They're going to be on the road the entire first month of next season because of Harry Styles.
That's crazy.
But I mean,
it's an NHL team.
If you think about it, who's going to bring more money to the city?
Harry
Probably
Styles.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Stephanie, are we
trying to go?
Are we going?
We'll see if we can get tickets.
We're gonna try.
You are you gonna have problems getting tickets, Steph?
We'll find out.
Yeah, Steph, can you get me tickets, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I'll let you know.
My last thing I want to say is that for my recommendation, if you're not a Below Deck fan, you won't get this, but Below Deck is one of the best reality shows out there. And there was a really sweet moment in the finale where two people that you've been hoping to get together got together, and they do a fast forward 11 months to see, because they'd broken up, you see. They'd gotten together. He got cold feet, ghosted her. And then she came back to the yacht this season to work for a couple of days. And then he was like, you got to give me another chance. You got to give me another chance. And then it's like, well, did it work out? And there's a huge surprise at the end of it. I don't want to wreck it for people. But it's
Below Deck. Is it just Below Deck or is it Med?
It's Below Deck.
Just in general.
Below Deck.
Is
just
Captain
Below Deck.
Is Captain Sandy?
Yes.
She is. Okay. All right. Good.
You also see
Captain I trust.
Wife, and she's pretty cool.
Captain Sandy could order me around. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Aye, Captain.
We'll leave it at that. Hey, love you guys. Are we back in person next week, or is it the week after? I can't even remember.
We are. Yes, we're gonna be back in person. Will they? Won't they kiss? Who knows?
Who knows?